You know, when it comes to knives, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of different knives out there, okay? The ones that I would choose to take into the bush are a very small group, even though there's a lot of knives here. Some of these are client offerings too, like this one here. This is for a Benchmade Siebert 162. Client's knife, sent it in, all right? This is for Dana English. There's a click, all right? Got a different, you know, I'm always doing something a little different that works. Okay, that's what's always in the back of my mind. I'm not going to do it unless it works, okay, and works well. All right, so this is SE Arrowhead. So basically, without this screw in it, this screw right here, which is easy, you can easily take it off. Okay, this is for a permanent application. So when you want to use the SE Arrowhead, you undo the screw, okay, but it still stays on there, okay. Then you just lift up this tab right here, pop it out. When you're done, pop it back in, put the screw in, okay. Now you can leave the screw out, it still stays in there, but it's more secure for the long term with the screw in it, okay. And like I said, if you're worried about rain and rust for the hardware, I do offer all stainless steel hardware. It's more expensive, but these posts and screws will never rust on you. I do put stainless steel posts in the loop assemblies, okay, just as a matter of course, okay. These always have stainless steel, okay. So here's that design here. It's got a Hawk light assembly for scout carry, you know, left hip, right hand cross draw, and some other neat stuff on it. This is that 9-ounce cowhide. This is actually stuff that I dye myself and then wax and then bevel the edges and, you know, all that neat stuff that leather workers do. Okay, so there's that one. All right, another EDC here. Mike Wallace. This is the Mike Wallace Spear 1. Okay, this is an extremely effective blade. This one, like I said, he has a lot of different options. You have to go to his website, www.wallaceedgedtools.com. Okay, this is the Spear 1. Okay, I'll start with the thumb jimping, non-aggressive. Okay, everybody that puts this in their hand says, I'm not a big fan of thumb jimping, but this is really comfortable. Duh. You know, Mike Wallace is an extraordinary knife builder. Better than most, in my opinion. Okay? So, I mean, he even shaves out an area here for your forefinger and thumb. That is comfort. This thing fills up your hand. Got a pyro plug, okay, and you'd be surprised. A lot of companies will put a bow drill divot in, but it'll just be drilled into the micarta, okay. These copper plugs give a lot less resistance when that spindle's in there, and it's like all of your downward pressure and friction is going on the hearth board and the end of the spindle. Very little up here, okay? The only thing I suggest is when you use this as a bow drill bearing block, all right, keep it in the sheath. I don't always keep it in the sheath. I use it when it's not in the sheath, but I'm used to it, okay? I suggest you keep it in the sheath. I'll make the sheath that way for you so you can keep the sheath on it, but wear gloves, because that heat comes through there on the other side as you got your hand on top of it, and it gets hot. So just wear gloves, okay? Spear 1, pass-through compression pins. Nice, crack them in the head pommel. or whatever, cracked nuts. Okay, this is a flat grind. He also does a modified saber grind. He's also working on Scandi grinds now. Okay, this is a traditional clip point, and I tell you, this clip point really makes the beginning, you know, for the hearthboard, for the, you know, the beginning divot. Okay, really makes it easier. Okay, just a outstanding blade. It's just, and you can see how it's curved, which gives you, you know, if you have to chop with this blade, it's a little light for chopping, but it does chop, and it splits wood, you know, batoning really well. Okay, so anyway, there it is. Got a slight belly for skinning. It's just a hell of a blade. Mike Travis from Blue Mountain Bushcraft did a great review of this knife. Outstanding. I suggest you watch that one. It's the Gauntlet series from Prepared Mind 101. This is one of the Gauntlet knives. Okay, that one has G10 scales though. That knife was actually mine, and I gave it to Chris Tanner so we could put it through the Gauntlet and whatnot, because he wanted G10. So then Mike made another one for me with my Carta. Alright, this one kind of special because Mike gave it to me. Got my Special Forces crest on the sheath. Okay, ferro rod on the front. Just a basic tabby dangler. This is tough nylon scuba webbing. Okay, in my opinion, the leather is better than this. Okay, it's going to last you longer. Even the scuba webbing tends to fray on the edges when you use it a lot. Okay, it starts fraying. So it's tough, just not as tough as leather, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so there's that one. That's one EDC. Okay, and I can make it so that you can use the pyro plug. Okay, because your pyro plug is going to be on this side. Okay, this knife was actually made for Mike Wallace. This was his knife, and the pyro plug's on the other side because he's left-handed. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Anyway, the pyro plug's going to be on this side if you order one of these Spear ones. It's going to be on this side. So no problem with using it with the sheath on it. Okay, that was one of the problems in the first review. Guys were saying that you couldn't use the pyro plug because the sheath was in the way. Well, that knife was actually made for a different purpose, and the pyro plug can go on the other side. No brainer. So, alright, here's another one. This is the Spear 2. This is more of a combat tactical blade. Okay, guys in the military really like this blade. It's beefy, it's strong. If you got to pry with it, this will be the knife to pry with. Although I don't suggest you ever pry with a knife. Knives are strong spine to edge, but laterally, if you put pressure on it this way, they're prone to snapping. Okay, has something to do with the grain structure or whatever. Anyway, so there it is. This is the Spear 2 pyro plug. All right, this is the only one. I think there's one more that has these scallops going all the way down the spine and all the way down the bottom of the handle. Gives you a little more purchase, plus it looks cool. Okay, this is another one that fills up your hand. Okay, generous handles. Okay, most knives, you know, you put them in your hand and they Kydex well. All right, they Kydex well. When you put a Mike Wallace, and you can get your whole hand around that handle to withdraw it. Okay, because the neck of the sheath generally takes up a good 3/4 of an inch to an inch of handle, so you need a longer handle to draw it effectively, to get your whole hand on it. Okay, sometimes I'll put a scallop right here that allows this forefinger to go down a little more, so you get a little bit more, you know, grip on it. Okay, but I love his knives, man. All right, so that's the Spear 2. I'll carry that sometimes. Depends on the application. Okay, here's another knife. Going to be a little controversial. Okay, don't carry this one that often, but for the working guy, for the working man who doesn't have $100, $200, CFK. All right, this is a CFK knife. Now, I gotta say, just because I like a knife from a particular maker or a particular company doesn't mean I like all their knives. I'm showing you the ones that I like, the ones that I carry into the bush. Okay, so I would carry this one into the bush. All right, this is 1095, cryo treated to about 59, 60 Rockwell, maybe 58, 59, 59. Okay, it's just it's a hell of a knife. Now, some CFK designs, I don't like them. Okay, some of their more fantasy style blades, or you know, short-handled blades, I don't like them. Okay, I wouldn't carry them. This one, I would carry. Okay, this blade, I would carry. Okay, it's a workhorse. It's a beautiful blade. If you can get them to make you this, if you like it, tell them you saw it on this video. I'm sure they'll make a few of these and offer them. Okay, I haven't seen this design in a while, but this is one of my favorites that they make. This is another one of my favorites that they will make if you ask them to. Okay, because they put knives out in lots. Okay, here's another one. This is their Bushcrafter. All right, I got some grip tape around the handle. It's a little slick. This micarta is polished, so I put a little grip tape around it for wet conditions. All right, so that's another one. Here's another CFK, another workhorse. This one's called the Bigfoot. Now they have these in production now, I think, on Amazon. As a matter of fact, they're asking me to make some sheaths for those knives. Okay, this is a workhorse. It's a huge hunk of steel that's not going to fail you in the bush. I tell you, I don't think I've ever heard of a CFK knife failing, you know, cracking or breaking or anything like that. But you hear Schrade's doing that. Okay, so you know, it is what it is. It's a decent company, made for the working man, so the working man can afford a decent blade. Okay, there are guys out there, man, who just don't have the money. They got 4 kids, a mortgage, insurance, car payments, Catholic school bills. I know, I've been there. Okay, so you don't have $400 or $500 to put in for a nice custom blade and a nice sheath system. Okay, that's where CFK comes in. Okay, this is the working man's knife company. Scour their eBay listings, look for a knife that you like, and I think it'll work for you. Okay, if it doesn't, it doesn't. This is all trial and error. All right, you got to get the knife in your hand and work with it to know if you're going to like it or not. Okay, now I want to go into some of the more run-of-the-mill knives. Okay, this is an LT Wright Bushcrafter. Okay, this is a phenomenal blade. LT Wright is very popular when it comes to bushcrafting, camping, hunting. Okay, they got a lot of different styles of blade. This is one of my favorites. I like the GNS and the Genesis as well. Okay, this is the Bushcrafter. LT Wright made this one for me, sent it to me. I love it. Okay, it's a great blade. I don't use it that often because I have other blades that I use. This is one that I would EDC in the bush. It's a hell of a blade. Okay, this is the Bushcrafter. The spines are so sharp on these you could cut yourself. I like that. All right, makes it an effective shaver, you know, for bark or striking a ferro rod or whatever. Okay, I like what works, but I only like what works for me. I don't know what would work for you. Okay, but I'm putting out these suggestions because I got some experience behind me where I'm carrying these blades. You know, I'm using blades all my life in a lot of different situations: military applications, civilian applications, bushcrafting, wilderness living skills. Okay, all that. Okay, I've been doing it all my life. So I want to give you some suggestions for knives, and Here's another one. This is a Bark River Bravo 1. Mike Stewart and Jim Stewart at at Bark River, phenomenal blades. I like their convex grinds that go into basically a 0-degree bevel. Just phenomenal woodworkers. Okay, they get it right. They get it right. LT Wright gets it right. Okay, this one is, you know, got a thumb ramp on it, a little aggressive on the jimping, but that's what the client that this knife was designed for in the beginning wanted. They wanted. It was a military group. I can't remember which ones, Rangers, Marines, I can't remember. Okay, anyway, they wanted the thumb ramp on there. Okay, there's a reason for it. Okay, beautiful knives. Bark River. All right, this is the Bark River Bravo 1. Here's a sheath that Zach made for it. All right, no wiggle, no rattle, no roll. All right, this is on my eBay listings, this sheath here for the Bravo 1. I suggest that you send me your blade though, because these are custom made blades. They're all different. Okay, minutely, but they're all different.